Hi, Anushka. We're so excited to have you on the interview today. Can I get you anything? You want something to drink?
Can I please get some iced coffee with oat milk?
Oat milk. Oh, I have to check on that. Let me see.
Also, I hope that the beans are ethically sourced. We don't want to hurt any more farmers.
Let's just get some water. Yeah, let's just get some water for Anushka. Yes. Anyway.
I love your outfit. Where do you thrift it from?
Zara?
Fast fashion.
Well, I hope you're comfortable and, we're good to go for the session.
Yeah, as long as the chair is made of vegan leather. Yeah,
Definitely.
awesome. Yeah.
So I was telling you, I went on a date this weekend.
How was it? How was she? What was the vibe like?
It was actually he. I went on a date with the guy.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, can we move on? Another straight girl here.
Anyways, welcome back to another episode of Spill the Tea with Cece, where we get insider insights from students who've walked the talk. In this very exciting episode, we will learn all about Barnard College of Columbia University, a private women's liberal arts college in Manhattan, New York City. Barnard College is known for being the most selective of the Seven Sisters and has highly ranked majors in the social sciences, biomedical sciences, psychology, and history.
You mean herstory?
When it was founded, Barnard was the first college in New York City to offer degrees to women. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit subscribe to watch us spill the tea on all top colleges around the world. And just a disclaimer, this is one alumni's experience, and of course does not represent the views of every single Barnard student. I'm beyond excited to introduce our special guest for the episode, Anushka. Anushka, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Anushka. I am a current student at Barnard and I'm majoring in economics and political science.
Awesome. So Anushka, I want to clear it up once and for all. We've heard about Barnard, we've heard about Columbia. Are they interchangeable? Are they completely different? Let's put this debate to rest.
So Columbia University has 4 undergraduate colleges within it. One of them is Columbia College, which most people confuse for being Columbia University, but it's just a college. Then there's Barnard College, there's SEAS, which is the engineering college, and then the School of General Studies, or GS. Barnard is a part of Columbia University, but not of Columbia College. Although we do have the same, commencement, we use the same resources. Half of my classes are at Columbia. People can even interchange their dormitories. Even the Greek life is very immersed between Barnard and Columbia, and so are the clubs.
And it's my understanding that when you graduate from Barnard, you graduate with a degree from Columbia University.
Yes, it's both a Barnard and a Columbia degree. Although there is one difference, that our curriculums are not the same. So Columbia is known for its core curriculum and we don't follow that. We have the curriculum, it's called Foundations. It's a more flexible curriculum as compared to core.
Wonderful. So let's actually talk about your academics. As a student of the liberal arts, how has Barnard supported your intellectual exploration and enrichment?
I actually applied as a comparative literature major, but as you know now that I'm majoring in economics and political science, I think it's all because of the flexibility of Barnard's curriculum and how they encourage you to actually make use of the liberal arts college in terms of exploring the various options that you have for different fields such as STEM and humanities and arts and it's just a very integrated thing.
And eventually you only have to declare your major by the end of your
sophomore year. Yes.
So you do have that chance to dabble around, talk to different professors, different students, and make your decision later on.
Yes.
So speaking of courses, what were some of your favorite classes that you've taken so far?
So within the foundations, we have the first year experience within which we have to take 2 classes, 1 per semester, which is the first year seminar and the first year writing. So for the first year writing, I had a class called Talking Back. You can only imagine the
How
kind
very Barnard of
Yeah,
you.
definitely. And for my seminar, I took storytelling, also a very, very amazing class that I had taken.
Wonderful.
You can either do like very small classes, like these ones were very small, like 14, 15 people classes. When you go to Columbia, then you have like a 400-person class, and you within Barnard too, you have like 30, 50, like it's a very like varied range of classes. Again, depending on what kind of
Environment you thrive.
that you want and you thrive in. So people like choose to take their, suppose like economics classes. Some people take it at Barnard and some people take their like thing at Columbia, and then the difference is mainly like class size and then professors.
As we know from past videos, every college has its own distinct vibe. What type of student goes to Barnard and really thrives there, especially considering that it's a women's college, which has a very distinct vibe of its own?
Barnard has a very sisterhood environment, very good community, very supportive. Women always supporting women, and I think it's a very safe space to be in terms of whether you have a diversity in opinion, in thought, in cultures and sexual orientation. I think Barnard offers a very safe space for diversity in general. There's also a misconception that people at Barnard are very pretentious, but I think that's not the case. Everybody has their own niche almost, and what they want out of their college experience and what they want out of Barnard. And I think one thing very common amongst most Barnard students is that a strive for like social change, be it in any field that they want, like entrepreneurship, STEM. There's an overall vibe and environment of having
Activism.
Yeah.
Driving change, generally politically very engaged, right?
Everybody is very politically correct over there.
Perfect. So if that sounds like you, this might be the perfect place for you to study. Now, let's talk a little bit about your transition, right? Because you grew up in India, between Delhi, you also went to boarding school in Dehradun. So I can imagine that it was a very dramatic change shifting to New York City and kind of starting this new chapter of your life. So tell us more about what that was like.
I have to say that I had already loved the idea of New York, loved being in a city like New York, and I'd also had experience in my boarding school. So I think definitely the change was a little easy for me as compared to like lots of other people who have never stayed away from their families. But it was also very different because I had never had people who didn't look like me, who didn't talk like me, and honestly who hadn't grown up with me, because I was in boarding school since 6th to 12th grade. And so I had honestly grown up with all of my friends. There was like 80 people in a grade, and I'd grown up with them, like I knew everything about them. So even just the change of like school to college, that was definitely something to consider and think about. Also, there's definitely the question of safety when it comes to New York. I know my parents were personally very concerned about it, and I have to say that obviously everything in the news is true, but you can never be too safe. You need to learn how to protect yourself, and Columbia has very good like resources for that.
I would love for us to dig in more to the campus, because I know that Barnard and Columbia are in Morningside Heights and do have a campus unto themselves within the big city. So how has that shaped your experience?
Most like colleges in New York or like in Manhattan specifically don't have college campuses, be it like NYU where the city is their campus, and even other colleges like Parsons, they don't have a campus. What makes Columbia and Barnard an even better experience is having that campus. It almost feels like a small town which is like in the Upper West Side of Manhattan. It's a very nice space and nice community to be in, surrounded by students everywhere, and you have the access to downtown and even uptown just using the subway, which is right outside of the Barnard gates. So everything is very accessible.
And have you had a chance to take advantage of the artistic opportunities in the city, or how have you made use of living in this vibrant place?
Mostly all museums for like Columbia Barnard students are free, and we're actually encouraged to go. Even during our orientation, they like took us to the Met, and it was lots of fun. They encourage you to explore the culture at New York. Within the foundations, we have a requirement about thinking locally, which is relating to things within New York City. And there's like several classes on it. Like there's architecture of New York, and there's queer history in New York and such. So definitely lots of culture and art surrounding us.
So it seems to me like the backdrop of the city serves as a cornerstone of your education as well. Women's colleges, often people associate women's colleges with, you don't interact with men for 4 years. But at the same time, you're so integrated with Columbia, the other colleges within Columbia, as well as the rest of the city. So it seems to me that you're getting diverse exposure with all sorts of people, but you always can come home to that close-knit, safe community surrounded by your sisters. And I feel like that's such a great balance for so many students who want to feel safe and comfortable, who, don't want to be intimidated to raise their hand in class because there's like 400 other students, co-ed students present, right? So I think this is such a great option for so many students, and we shouldn't discount women's colleges as being so, isolating or insular in any way. So how does Barnard support students' professional ambitions after they graduate?
Barnard and Columbia have a very extensive network of alumni who are very supportive and help even students currently going there in their professional endeavors.
Wonderful. And finally, if after watching this episode, if any student has realized that Barnard is the perfect place for them, what advice would you give a student to highlight their fit and maximize their chances of getting admitted to arguably one of the most selective women's colleges?
So for the Why Barnard essay, they tend to write about why they want to get into Columbia and not Barnard, which is, I think, a mistake, because I understand the appeal of Columbia, but then you should apply to Columbia College and not Barnard. Barnard has its own quirks, its own culture and sisterhood. So don't cater your why Barnard essay to why Columbia. If you want, do mention the resources that you will get being a part of Barnard. So another thing would be to be original, to be your very true self and be passionate and show that you're passionate about things. One of the questions is, what bold questions would you ask? Please be very truthful and very honest. There's no need to, ask the most profound question there is, because it's your question and it's what shows the person reading your application about you. And they don't want to hear a very generic response.
So I've understood, Barnard has its own independent identity, and they're looking for students whose identity aligns with their own, whose values, whose ethos, whose mission seems like it would contribute positively to their college community, which they cherish and protect so dearly. For any of these essays, right, definitely showing your passion and originality, but also working to highlight characteristics and values that Barnard seems to share, right?
Yeah.
Like a focus on activism, for example, or highlighting the stories of women throughout history, legendary women, many of whom their voices may not have been heard over time, and your focus on highlighting those.
My favorite essay to write for Barnard was the pick a woman you would want to converse with for an hour. My counselor at Athena helped me sort of think about who I align with and who even Barnard aligns with. And I ended up with a poet, Kamala Saraya Das, who wrote about female liberalization and sexualization in the 1960s. And just the process of writing and rewriting and editing and, finally coming up with the perfect essay. That was a lot of me and a lot of Barnard was my favorite experience.
Yeah, awesome. And I'm not surprised why that really resonated with the Barnard Admissions Committee, because it totally screams, the Barnard culture and what they stand for. And I think what also probably worked in your essay's case is your use of tapping into cultural rootedness and referring to women from your own country, your own culture and background, because they want students who are going to add to the diversity of the college campus. So the fact that you're in touch with not only women and feminist movements, but those that organically occurred within India, so that you would be bringing a unique perspective, right? And that's really a recipe for success in all college admissions across the board. That's all for this episode of Spill the Tea with CC. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and leave a comment down below. Which woman would you invite to speak for 1 hour? Any final thoughts, Anushka?
Yeah, I am gonna run because I have a protest to join, but thank you so much, and I'm gonna go and be with the climate protesters.
Catch you next time.